Hi, welcome back to the Everyday Patch. So if you watched the last video, then you'll know that things last week didn't quite go to plan. I was meant to be planting out my squashes and cabbages and things. Instead, my crop plot ended up falling apart. But we managed to rebuild it into the new L shape. So on today's video, we're going to get it lined and filled back up and planted out and get those squashes planted as well. So as you can see, I cut some holes in some old wood bags and compost bags and things like that, and I used my staple gun to just affix them to the side of the wood. This did take a hot minute, so I have speeded up a couple of the videos just to save you from being sat for an hour watching a video. But yeah, so this was fairly easy to do, just like laid it down and just used the gun. It just takes a little bit of oomph to get those staples in the wood. So me and the kids have actually been out on a walk with Ember and collecting sticks and things like that in order to fill this up. We had already collected leaves and things like that because that's just something we do when they're just scattered all over the floor. We pick them up, bag them up, and then we can use them when we're planting things up. I will be adding some of the soil back in from the planter, but not all of it. I'm going to be layering to allow some of the soil to go further into my plants, pots and things. So I'm using sticks and leaves, like I say, collected by the dog. Well, not by the dog, but by the kids on dog walks. And straw donated by a friend as well as some nearly ready compost from the composter. So there's the sticks and leaves going in there. But like I say, this filled it about halfway doing this, so it meant that I was using less of the soil, less compost, less store-bought compost as well, because like I say, my compost is about half done, so there's still bits of eggshells in there, still bits of cardboard. It's still a little bit not quite done, but it will finish off while it's in the beds or in the big pots when I do them down the line. I'm actually really happy with how this has worked out, because even though it wasn't planned and it was a bit of a pain in the backside getting it sorted, I think the shape is going to work out better for the space and make things easier to reach. But yeah, it took its time, but we got there. Like I say, this is just a good layer of that compost where I said there's a little bit to shells. I even found some pumpkin seeds that were sprouting. And I found a couple more over the past few days. So might have some surprise pumpkins. This is me contemplating life, because everything was just everywhere and I didn't know what to do. I've put some flowers in, but it was just cabbages, squashes and plants everywhere. I didn't know where I was putting them. So I just had a little moment, which I'm sure we can all relate to that. After my moment of contemplating life, I decided to check if the net would go over the crop plot now that I'd changed the shape. In hindsight, I probably should have waited until I planted everything in there, so I weren't bending over the net. But the job got done, and well, it is what it is, isn't it? I wouldn't be me if I didn't make my job harder. So as I say, once I'd done this, it was basically a case of getting everything that I'd saved from the plot ready to go into it or find a new home. And they've definitely been waiting patiently while I figured this all out. So this is just replanting that L-shaped crop plot. So I put the cauliflowers in, the cabbages in. I also replanted in things like the garlics, onions, carrots, beetroots. I put some Romanian lettuce in there that I was growing out. Yeah, just a whole horde of everything. So as you can see, these are the garlics going in now. I also put some of the garlics in with the squashes later on as well. I like to companion plant, so I'll put a little bit of everything in with everything. It doesn't bother me. If it doesn't grow, it doesn't grow. If it does, it does. I think sometimes we're a bit too strict of what we can and can't do with things. There were so many people that told me my carrots wouldn't survive being transplanted. But as you'll see at the end of the video, they're quite happy. They're not too fussed. So over the next few days, I let these settle in before I did a bit of a garden tour. So that's at the other end of this video. But what we'll do is we'll have a little look around everything else that's happening in the garden and show you how everything's settled in. These are the Romanian lettuce going in. So they're mainly for the guinea pigs, to be fair. They eat quite a lot of Romanian lettuce, it's the favourite. So I will be doing a couple more of them as well in the next week, doing some more seeds of them. Beetroot going back in. Like I say, most of the things that I did save from the crop plot originally has survived and has done quite well. I've not put the big celery back in. They are now in the alley. Just because I've put new celery seeds in for this year, so we'll let the old celery go to flower in the alleyway. So this is me just using my little divoter or poker, whatever you want to call it, just to make a little hole for the carrots and the onions to go in. Now that that's the crock pot rebuilt and filled, we can move on to the squash tubs. So these are flexi tubs that I got from Amazon, and again I just filled them with sticks, leaves, straw, some of my partly done compost, a layer of the soil from the old crop plot, and then a layer of compost shop bought. So like I say, we had to go and get more sticks on a walk, so these are those sticks in the 2 little bags. And again, just layering that up, just the same as I did in the crop plot. I do apologise for the camera angles as well. I do really need to get myself a tripod of some sort. We will get there, but for now, I apologise for the camera angles. Sometimes as well, when you video and you don't realise, and then you watch it back and you think, oh God, you can't even see anything on that. So yeah, this was just a layer of that normal compost. A layer of my compost, a layer of the soil that's probably not got many nutrients in it from the crop plot. So I thought if I just layer it like that, it'll help give it a little bit of life back into it. And then in this blue container, we put the black zucchini, black booty zucchini into the blue flexi tub. Just use a few sticks just to help to keep it propped up a little bit. Just so that like none of the fruit or the leaves are sat on the ground too much. So that's 2 of the same. So they're both Black Beauty zucchinis or courgette. I also put some nasturtium in there as well as some marigold and, like I say, some garlic and bits and bobs. And here's the orange tub. I didn't record all that. A blue Peter moment. Here's one I did earlier. So this is the long white squash. I had 2 of these plants again, so I put these in the large ones. And then I put the golden zucchini, courgette, and a flat white squash into smaller black tubs because they were singular. Although I might throw in a couple more golden zucchinis because we enjoyed them last year. And I just did the same again, used a couple of sticks just to help to support them stems. And then added in like the marigolds, a couple of extra flowers and garlic and bits and bobs all in there. Just, it helps. I think companion planting really helps to tear some of those pests. And I'll even show you in my garden tour just at the end of this video when we have a little wander around in a moment. Just how beneficial that is. So at the front we've got Isaac's watermelon plants, which we'll see if we get any fruit from them. I've got 6 different varieties of tomatoes at the front, so these are the younger ones that I did from seed. At the back of those we've got some sunflowers as well. Isaac has actually decided he wants to do a sunflower, so he's catching up to me and Bella at the minute. But as you can see at the front there, a lot of the flowers have been nibbled. Which I don't mind because they're not nibbling my tomato plant, so that's fine. Which is why I do it. This is why I companion plant, because I'd rather them eat the flowers and the other little sacrificial bits than eat my tomatoes or my strawberries. So these ones I've done a little bit of a string system fence to sort of help support them. These ones I actually bought from the market, and that smallest one in the middle I actually accidentally knocked the top off. So it's the same size as these other 2. But it started to regrow its roots, so hopefully it'll catch up. And of course some strawberries, and they're doing quite well at the front this year, a lot better than they did at the back. So I think I'll be putting my new strawberry seedlings at the front as well. And the fruit trees, now these dropped the fruit quite early and have started to grow fresh branches, so I still think they're still a little bit young to produce yet, so they'll be getting potted up. We've got the pepper, the chilli plant at the top there, and fresh cucumber seedlings because my other one's sulked. They are the strawberry seeds that Isabella planted, so she'll be helping to pot them up. And some suckers from the tomato plants, as well as some seeds that we popped in the other day, some kale and purple broccoli and some more onions and things like that, just to keep that cycle going. And then I'll have some ready for overwintering as well. And into the main event, back outside, this is where all the chaos happens. We've got some cosmos and some poppies in the middle there as well. As you can see, there are some carrots and bits and bobs in there, just filling spaces. That is a full trough of carrot. You are correct, yes. There was no room for it anywhere else, so there it went. Also, you can see the squashes are doing quite well in the tubs. So I've got one that has just flowered and I have pollinated it. So hopefully that'll be our first black zucchini. And as you can see on some of the flowers and things as we're looking through this, you will see that they have been nibbled, where a lot of the main plants haven't really been touched. I think especially in this long white squash one, the flower with the red flower, I'm not even sure what it's called, but the red flower one has been nibbled quite a lot. There, as you can see. Whereas the actual zucchini plant, squash, courgette, whatever, it hasn't really been nibbled too much, and apart from this one leaf that I removed. But I always do a little check, just remove the yellow leaves and keep it going. These are the smaller tubs, so that is a golden courgette and the flat squash. So here we've got the herbs, salads, spring onions, and then the 2 smaller raspberry plants in their own little separate pots there. And some we've got some lamb's lettuce and some carrots and stuff filling spaces. That is where the cucumbers will go. The lamb's lettuce is bolting a little bit, but I'm not too concerned about that. I'll do another succession sow. And some raspberries on our main raspberry plant. I'm doing quite well. And here we've got some flowers and some peas. These are sweet garden peas, I think they are. I think that's what they were called. I'll have to double check. And the crop plot is doing quite well. So obviously we've got the cauliflowers, the cabbages, plenty of flowers. All the carrots are looking fairly well. I don't think there's anything that sulked too much where it weren't happy. Lettuces and things like that. I have actually put the seeds in for the celery in that corner space there, so it looks pretty empty, but it will have celery there eventually. There's onions, carrots, garlics, and there's a surprise little seedling there. As I say, I keep finding them popping up. They are pumpkin seeds because we composted the pumpkins at Halloween. So I will leave a couple, and I have popped some in pots and stuff, so we'll keep an eye and see what we can produce. Even if they're only tiny, it'll be fun. But yeah, like I say, everything in the crop plot seems pretty good. It's all doing well. I have done a little sprinkle of a succession sow with some radishes and stuff to help cover that mud and be a bit of a filler between them. And they are the new currant bushes. So they've got red currant, black currant, and another one that I forgot. These are my beans. Now, we did have a casualty. I snapped a bean stalk when I was messing around putting the net on. So I'm going to let those little bean pods produce and then see what happens from there. I'll probably just have to cut it back. As you can see, in every single one of my containers, I companion plant. So there's nasturtiums in there, there's carrots in there, there's all kinds. And I've done another succession of beans, seeing as I've snapped one. But yeah, there's plenty growing on that. And just behind the arc, we've got our broccoli and our kale. Like, as you can see there, they've got onions and marigolds and the odd lettuce and bits and bobs in with them as well. I do this with everything. I just think it works so well. They will get netted eventually, but for now they have not been nibbled or touched by anything. So I'll just keep my eye on it, and as soon as I see any signs of nibbling or anything like that, I will get them netted. It's just leave them be while they're okay. Why not? I do like marigolds. They're like little pom-poms, aren't they? And there is my hanging basket at the back. A quick little look at the garden. And these are our random pots. So these were suckers from the tomato plants. Some little extras. The kids wanted to try and grow a conker tree, which didn't really work out. I didn't think it would, but you know, let them try. And those little pots I thought were not going to grow, and then they started growing. So I don't know what half of them are, but we'll see what happens in the next couple of weeks. And there's a spare broccoli, a spare cauliflower, and one of these surprise seedlings there as well. And then on to the alleyway. Last little look down the alley. This has basically become my extra growing space. These spuds are pulled out from the little tree at the bottom here where the old guinea pigs are buried. So as the potato plants come up, I try and pull them up as best I can, but I'm not going digging in there yet. So I do need to also get out here and move all these flowers off the plant because it's finished flowering now. But I have moved my potato plants and things like that into the alleyway. Some lettuces and spring onions there in with the blueberry plant because it's finished doing what it was doing. Any advice on blueberry plants would be amazing, because I never seem to be able to get any fruit from it. So I just end up filling the rest of the tub with salads to make use of the space. And there's my potato plants, as I said. I put them in the alley just to make a little bit more room in the main garden. I did have to put a sign on them for the first week because there wasn't much greenage, and I didn't want people just robbing them thinking it was a bag of compost. And there's my sweet peas and a few more lettuce again there. It really is lovely to be able to, when you're having a little barbecue or something, and just go out and grab your own bit of lettuce for your burger. Sweet peas are doing brilliant. I can't wait for those to flower. They'll be looking lovely. Flowering just in time for the roses stopping. And they are looking fantastic this year. They're doing really, really well. I think this is the first year where I've had multiple blooms. Last year I think I got like 2 or 3 little flowers, but it just shows that it really does take time and patience. And some careful training up the arch. I really do love these flowers. They're absolutely beautiful. And they come out just in time for the rhododendron finishing as well, which is nice because the rhododendron brings a lot of colour to that alleyway. So it's nice to see them pop up. These are the celery that was in the main crop plot. As you can see, they are starting to flower, so I'll leave them to do the thing and then hopefully collect a few seeds. And then the guinea pigs can finish them off. And there's a rhododendron again. I need to pluck off these dead flowers on this. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Making use of every little bit of space that I've got. And that's everything for this week. It definitely wasn't the plan that I started with, but I'm actually really happy with how it's turned out. Thank you again for coming along with me, and I'll see you next time on the Everyday Pat.